Thank you very much for joining me again for Amazon Sellers News. Today's Sellers News is a few stories. At the end, I'm going to talk to you about the new agreement you have with Amazon, your terms of condition, the quote-unquote participation agreement. All the old rules have changed. They've been modified. In many ways, it's bad for sellers. In many ways, it's really good for sellers. A lot of powerful stuff in the new agreement that you can use in drafting really persuasive and effective plans of action, appeals, and Bezos escalations. I'm also going to be talking about new ways to submit documents with your plan of action, your appeals, inauthentic suspensions, retail arbitrage, and the listing suspensions and removal orders. Okay, Jenny, thank you very much for joining me again. Okay, first story, additional submission button for appeals and supporting documents. Okay, now when you're suspended, if a listing is suspended, okay, on the left-hand side, you're going to see a suspension button. If you hit the suspended button, it's going to open up another screen. It's going to show you the appeal. To view your appeal on the right-hand side, when you open that, there's another method of submitting documents. Okay, now I am certainly not a king of running the Amazon dashboard, but this is a really great change because it's providing yet another way of submitting documents and information, submitting persuasive arguments before you have to go over to the Bezos team. So I like there being more bites at the apple. I believe in the business concept of using the lowest level of competence, especially at Amazon, because if you can get someone at seller performance or seller support to reinstate your listing, to reinstate your account, that is way better than drawing a more intensive review by somebody further up Amazon's food chain. So to me, this is really good news. There's yet another method of getting your arguments, your invoices, your receipts in front of a set of eyes at Amazon that's further down on the food chain to get your accounts and your listings reinstated. Okay, second breaking news story has to do with inauthentic suspensions and retail arbitrage. Roughly a year ago, 18 months ago, it seemed like Amazon was steadfast on getting rid of RA. But what we're seeing now is a trend in the exact opposite direction. We're seeing faster reinstatements for people engaged in retail arbitrage who have good retail receipts. Now, what do I mean by good? I mean detail. Identifying the product, a store that has a web presence, a store where you can link that store right back to the manufacturer, okay? It is really easy to link Best Buy back to a manufacturer. The more detailed receipts, the more of a web presence the retail establishment has online, the better it is to link them back to the manufacturer, the more likely to get a faster reinstatement of your listing of your account if you're doing RA and you receive an inauthentic. Third breaking news story, listing suspensions, removal orders, and deleting that listing, okay? This is not about account suspensions. This is if you have created your own listing and that listing has been suspended. Now, what we're starting to see are sellers who are submitting their own plan of action, which I am fully in favor of. We teach people how to write their own plans of action every day of the week. We wrote the books on how to write your own plans of action. But let me give you a little advice and breaking news story. If your listing has been suspended and you submit a plan of action, sit tight. You don't have to take down that listing. See what happens. If you take down that listing, you're not going to get a positive result on your plan of action because it's really no longer an issue. And when you think it through from Amazon's perspective, from their seller performance person in Hyderabad or Bangalore, it makes sense. If the listing is down, why do they need to spend some of their time evaluating your plan of action? So if you've submitted a plan of action, I suggest you let it ride and see what the result is. Maybe you can keep selling that product. Maybe you can keep that listing. You don't have to take it down, based upon whatever the problem is. But I don't think you should expect a positive result on a plan of action if you've now taken that listing out of the game. Okay, fourth breaking news story, the new business solutions agreement. Jonathan, thank you very much for joining. Please share and please like if I'm teaching you anything at all. The new BSA has imposed a tremendous amount of new conditions on Amazon sellers. The first of our 30 or so videos, our 30 or so articles is live on YouTube. You can watch it there. You can email if you need a link. We're also taking everything that we say and do on the videos and putting it into easy to read articles for those of you who just need to read and get the information in and out very, very quickly. But if you go to YouTube, you're going to see the first video about the changes to the Business Solutions Agreement. Sometimes this is referred to as terms and conditions. Sometimes it's referred to as the participation agreement. This is your contract with Amazon, and anyone writing a plan of action needs to know that contract inside and out so you know what to argue, what portions of the agreement you're in compliance with, what portions of the agreement you may be outside of compliance and that you need to address in your plan of action. So please go over to YouTube, take a look. It's also here on Facebook, but you need to know what your contract with Amazon says, and the new BSA is your contract with Amazon. Okay, last but not least, the trade war is increasing. Nobody knows where it's going to go. And if you're a private label seller, look at indiasourcingtrip.com. indiasourcingtrip.com. It's an organized trip to Delhi in India where you'll get factory tours, meet logistics companies, and learn about changing your sourcing or diversifying your sourcing from China to India, and you have to look at other countries as well. Okay, thank you very much for joining me for Amazon Sellers News. I'll be back again tomorrow morning with the latest news from our 10,000-foot view, where I get to share information to help sellers avoid suspensions, and if you do get suspended, how to get your listings and your accounts back as quickly as possible. Please share this video, please like this video, and please join me again tomorrow for Amazon Sellers Breaking News.